high-ranking military officials from both countries attended the opening ceremony. The 2024 Balikatan exercise, the largest annual bilateral exercise between the Philippines and the US, began with an opening ceremony at the Armed Forces of the Philippines General Headquarters in Manila on April 22, 2022. This exercise directly reinforces the US-Philippine Mutual Defense Treaty by improving military cooperation and readiness between the two armed forces. This year's exercise marks the 39th iteration of the annual event, showcasing the ironclad alliance and enduring friendship between the two nations. Over 11,000 American soldiers and 5,000 Filipino troops, a total of 16,700 personnel, will be jointly trained in this year's iteration of Balikatan exercise. Contingent from US and Philippine Coast Guard, Special Task Force of Philippine National Police, Australian Defence Force, and the French Navy, for the first time in Balikatan's history, will also join the exercise and drills as participants. It will be also the first time the maritime exercises are carried out beyond Philippines' 12 nautical miles territorial waters, but within Manila's exclusive economic zones in parts of open sea claimed by China. Meanwhile, another 14 nations will participate as part of the international observers. These are the like-minded countries from the Association of Southeast Asia Nations, G7, and European Union, India, New Zealand, and Republic of Korea. During this year's Balikatan, participants will execute a range of complex missions across domains, including maritime security, sensing and targeting, air and missile defense, dynamic missile strikes, cyber defense, and information operations. The Philippine Navy, US Navy, and the French Navy will also conduct a multilateral maritime exercise in the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. The opening ceremony was attended by high-ranking military officials from both countries, including Major General Marvin N. Liquidine, Commander Armed Forces of the Philippines Education, Training and Doctrine Command, and the Philippine Exercise Director, and U.S. Lieutenant General William M. Journey, Commander U.S. Marine Corps Forces Pacific and the U.S. Exercise Director. In his opening remarks, Major General Liquidine emphasized the importance of Exercise Balikatan in strengthening the military capabilities and interoperability between the Philippines and the United States. Balikatan is not just an exercise, but the avenue where we build confidence, respect, and understanding to achieve mutual support, cooperation, and a shared commitment. With this, both the Armed Forces of the Philippines, AFP, and U.S. forces will achieve a degree of cohesion to maintain combat readiness capable of swift, decisive actions on both an operational and strategic level, responding to regional and global challenges, said Liquidine. Lieutenant General Journey mirrored Major General Liquidine's sentiments, stating, "Balikatan is a tangible demonstration of our shared commitment to each other. It matters for regional peace and stability. When we increase our mutual response and defense capabilities, we strengthen our ability to promote regional security and protect our shared interests." The U.S. Army has for the first time deployed a mid-range capacity land attack and surface-to-air missile defense system to the Philippines as part of its 2024 military bilateral exercise. The system was deployed in early April to northern Luzon, with the first multi-domain task force on board AC-17 Globemaster III, with the support of the U.S. Air Force's 62nd Airlift Wing from Joint Base Lewis McChord in Washington. Yes, there is already a deployment of the MRC, the Medium-Range Capability Weapon System up north. It's actually not a new technology. It's an evil weapon system that the United States has put into a prime mover, and it has been deployed already up north far as 2,500 kilometers in altitude, out to 108,000 feet, has marked a substantial boost in capability in a region where China has been taking a stronger position in recent years. The U.S. Army's new ground-based launcher, capable of supporting Tomahawk cruise missiles and SM-6, appeared for the first time in the Indo-Pacific in a deployment to the northern Philippines, near Taiwan for military droughts. Mid-range capability, also known as the Typhoon weapon system, is a Lockheed Martin design that takes the naval Mk-41 vertical launch system and modifies it for land-based operations. Typhoon's missile system could cover not only the entire Luzon Strait, but also reach the Chinese coast and various People's Liberation Army bases in the South China Sea. The deployment of the MRC aims to improve Philippine maritime defense capabilities and strengthen interoperability and readiness within the U.S.-Philippine alliance. Additionally, the Philippines Department of National Defense entered into an agreement with Israel's Ministry of Defense and Rafael Advanced Defense Systems in 2019 for 3 batteries of the Spider air defense missile system. Valued at $6.8 billion, the agreement is part of the AFP modernization program's Horizon 2. The first 2 missile batteries arrived in September 2023, with the third expected to be delivered this year. The Spider system is designed to safeguard critical installations, land-based assets, mobile platforms, and friendly forces from aerial threats such as combat aircraft, attack helicopters, drones, missiles, and rockets. Balikatan 2024 consists of 3 main exercises. The field training exercise includes 4 combined joint all-domain operations. These exercises involve protecting key terrain to support territorial defense, rapidly deploying long-range precision strike capabilities, targeting simulated threats, tracking simulated air threats, employing multiple air and missile defense systems, and integrating air and land platforms to enhance awareness of maritime security. Exercise forces will conclude by targeting simulated enemy forces and sinking an enemy ship. Officials said in interviews that in one operation, troops will simultaneously secure 2 islands along the western and northern coasts of the Philippines before transporting high-mobility artillery rocket system launchers onto the islands for live firing exercises. In another operation, Philippine naval vessels will debut a newly procured ship-based missile system, working with U.S. Air Force squadrons to strike and sink a decommissioned ship. The U.S. military last year secured access to 4 new staging sites in the Philippines, 3 of which will be part of this year's Balikatan exercises. In one operation, troops will depart from Loair Airport in Cagayan Province to secure one of the Philippines' northernmost islands facing Taiwan. In another operation, soldiers will utilize a newly designated airbase on Balabac Island to defend Palawan Province, situated opposite the Spratly Islands, which China aims to control. The drills will simulate the armed recapture of island territories. The command and control exercise includes a cyber defense component to enhance bilateral defense capabilities, protecting critical military and civilian information infrastructure, a staff planning exercise to enhance bilateral planning proficiency by developing the plan for next year's Balikatan iteration, and the inaugural information warfare exercise, where Philippine and U.S. forces engage in a week-long war game starting April 1st to synchronize capabilities and advance both nations' information operations skills. Lastly, the AFP and the U.S. Civil Military Operations Task Force have been conducting humanitarian civic assistance activities at 5 locations in the western and northern Philippines since late March, with projects expected to be completed by the end of Balikatan 2024. Together, military personnel are constructing and enhancing local infrastructure, sharing life-saving medical skills, and strengthening military ties with local communities. All right, well, distinguished guests, fellow general officers, flag officers, all good morning. It is absolutely a great opportunity to be here again. I am Lieutenant General Bill Journey. I'm the commander of the U.S. Marine Corps forces in the Pacific, and on behalf of Admiral Aquilino and all of the U.S. components, I am absolutely honored to be back for what I know will be the most effective, ambitious, sophisticated, and challenging iteration of Balikatan ever. Over 16,000 members from the armed forces of the Philippines and the United States military will train together this year. In doing so, we will demonstrate that the Mutual Defense Treaty between the United States and the Republic of the Philippines is no mere piece of paper. Rather, it is the union of 2 great democracies standing shoulder to shoulder in support of each other and in support of the rule of law and a prosperous, secure, stable, free, and open Indo-Pacific region. Once again, we will be joined by numerous friends and allies who share this vision. This year, the Armed Forces of the Philippines will collaborate with the US military, the Australian Defence Force, and for the first time, the French Navy, as they contribute their expertise and experience to the exercise. Additionally, we will have 14 nations participating in the International Observer Program. We welcome all of you and look forward to collaborating together. Now let's hear remarks from Major General Marvin Licudine of the Philippine Army, who will serve as the exercise director. I would like to extend my gratitude to the planners and organizers of the 39th iteration of the Balikatan exercise, both from the Philippine and US sides. Special acknowledgement goes to Mr. Timur and Colonel Michael Noak for their dedication and patience. Without their efforts, today's details would not have been realized. I believe the planners have followed the guidance of my counterpart to prioritize quality over quantity in the exercise. Balikatan, the joint exercise between the Armed Forces of the Philippines and the United States Indo-Pacific Command, aims to enhance the interoperability of both forces in planning and executing military operations in a joint and combined operational setting. By collaborating, both militaries can fully unlock their potential. Over the past 38 years, this exercise has strengthened the alliance and enhanced our expertise in various fields. For its part, the AAP has strengthened cooperative security mechanisms, actualized and still continuing modernization in organization, equipment, training, and systems. Through the exercise, we have improved competencies and utilized game-changer capabilities to enhance warfighting tactics, techniques, and procedures, both at the tactical and strategic level. The sense of the word balikatan, which means shouldering the load together, represents the extent of our mutual commitment, and together achieving shared goals, goals that are not only for us, but shared with other allied partners. How will the Philippines' mutual defense treaty with the United States affect the Southeast Asia region? The sovereignty of the Philippines was the first ASEAN member to be directly affected by China's military expansion in the South China Sea. With lesser economic influence and military power, the same thing in the rest of the region. Outside help from the international community is much needed to secure the peace and stability in Indo-Pacific. An irreplaceable US ally for 7 decades, the Philippines has long been at the forefront of preserving the free and open regional order in Southeast Asia and the greater Indo-Pacific region. The Mutual Defense Treaty between the Republic of the Philippines and the United States of Asia, signed in 1951, serves as a foundation for the close security cooperation between the two countries. 73 years after its signing, the alliance continues to flourish in the ever-changing security landscape surrounding the Philippines. The US-Philippines Mutual Defense Treaty has evolved into the 1998 Visiting Forces Agreement, VFA, and the 2014 Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, EDCA. The VFA provides the legal framework and status protections for U.S. military and Department of Defense civilian personnel in the Philippines while on official business. Meanwhile, EDCA enables U.S. forces to access agreed locations in the Philippines on a rotational basis for security cooperation exercises, joint military training activities, and humanitarian assistance and disaster relief efforts. Strategically positioned east of the South China Sea, a vital route for about 30% of global maritime trade, the Philippines archipelago plays a crucial role. Approximately a third of global trade, valued at $6 trillion, passes through the South China Sea annually. The Philippines is also a significant part of the first island chain, which consists of major Pacific archipelagos off the East Asian continental mainland coast. Currently, the first island chain serves as the most effective line of defense against Chinese aggression and expansion. The Mutual Defense Treaty grants the United States access to increase its military presence in the region, allowing additional control over 4 more sites and strengthening the Philippines' role as a key strategic partner for Washington in the event of a conflict, particularly concerning Taiwan. This agreement comes as Washington seeks to reaffirm its influence in the region amidst broader efforts to counter Chinese aggression. It aims to reinforce partnerships with strategic allies and mend relations that have deteriorated in recent years. Thank you for watching. Kindly share your thoughts with us in the comment section.